first court date. It also includes illegal immigrants who have already been ordered deported by a judge but are still here in the country. So with that in mind, take a look at these staggering numbers right here. Federal sources telling
Hi guys, welcome back to XCOM 2.
non-detained docket has now exploded to
I think we're on a mission.
4 million cases.
Yeah, we're on a mission.
We're told it's on track to hit 8 million by the end of this year. As you can see, these cases have more than doubled since Trump's years in office. We're told over 1 million cases have been added to this docket just since October 1st, largely due to mass catch and release here at the border. As you can imagine, ICE is buried right now. And just to put it in perspective, take a look at this second graphic right here. Sources tell us right now, each ICE officer is currently managing an average of 7,000 cases each. Yes, you heard that right. 7,000 cases per ICE officer. That is obviously an impossible task given current staffing levels. ICE only has about 6,000 deportation officers nationwide right now. Not all of them work on this non-detained docket. Now, Republican Congressman Mark Green, he's the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee. He's reacting to these numbers, telling Fox News and Fox quote, "The bipartisan laws that have been passed by Congress make very clear that illegal aliens must be detained. But Biden and Mayorkas have instead directed and overseen the mass release of illegal aliens into our communities. Would-be border crossers around the world are making the bet that if they cross under this administration, they will be released into the interior. These numbers show that's usually a winning wager." And back out here live, important to point out, all these numbers I just mentioned, they do not include the nearly 1.9
we gotta go up here.
gotaways who have entered the U.S. under the Biden administration so far. Those gotaways never encountered DHS, so they don't have a court case.
Let's go the other way.
Non-detained docket.
Up here.
Regardless, though, ICE is still responsible for going out into the country, finding those 1.9 million people, and removing them. We're told by our sources that it's physically impossible right now, given their staffing levels. They need more manpower, they need more resources, and they need it ASAP. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Bill, thanks. Beginning another week there on the southern border.
The numbers are always so crushing to hear. So the migrant crisis also extending beyond the southern border, as 5 children wake up today without a mother after an illegal immigrant who crossed into the country during the Biden administration is accused of killing their mom, Rachel Morin. It's a tragic, tragic story that could happen to really any one of us. The sheriff investigating the horrific crime is calling out the White House's failures last hour on America's Newsroom.
That is a public safety crisis, and one that we can so easily fix by really coming up with a workable immigration policy for our country. It's just insane that we would allow things like Rachel's murder to happen. When I say allow it, we allowed it by letting him into this country unchallenged.
So joining us now is the National Border Council Vice President, Art Del Prieto. Art, thank you so much for joining us on the program this morning. As I understand it, in talking to Bill Melugin, the U.S. has a deportation agreement with El Salvador and the Triangle countries. That makes it very, very easy to send these people back if they needed to. Why didn't that happen here?
Well, unfortunately, as said before, there's a lot of ask for asylum in the release and you have to factor in the gotaways. But continue to say it's going to continue. Conspiracy theories, but we're not. We've been saying it's going to continue to allow more and more people into this country. They haven't vetted them. Everyone's overwhelmed within the system, so that's why the gotaway numbers have continued to go up. And we don't really know realistically how many have gotten away. So let's factor that in. That's why this continues to happen, because this administration has refused to say there's a problem, and they've refused to fix the problem. Instead, they continue to throw band-aids here and there, and none of it is working. They had the fast for individuals. That didn't work. They're talking about this new executive order. That hasn't worked. In fact, that's made it worse because of the exemptions that they put out, one of them being for the unaccompanied juveniles. So now that's going to go up. The number of unaccompanied juveniles coming into the country is going to go up. And so it's just little band-aids that they put on. It's the equivalent of turning off the sprinkler system during a monsoon.
Yeah, you're right. We only know what we know, and this is what we know. If we can pop it up on the screen, this is a number of known gotaways nationwide. This is what we know, Art. We don't know outside of this. So in fiscal year 2024, which is where we are at currently, 184,000 just this year, on top of the 1.6 million since since President Biden has been in office. 1.6 million, that's the population of Phoenix, Arizona. I mean, and then you listen to Bill talking about how one ICE agent is responsible for 7,000 cases. It's not manageable.
Look, I've been out here for decades. I've seen how bad it is, and I can tell you that 1.6 million is well over 2 million. I'm telling you right now, it's over 2 million because there's no way for them to even physically get that number because there's not enough agents out there on the line right now to be able to count those gotaways. So things are going to get worse. But unfortunately, it takes for a paper to be leaked. It takes for some politician to talk about it because people need to wake up and realize today there's a problem. Don't wait 2 to 3 months for somebody else to tell you. It needs to be taken care of now. People need to pay for these consequences. And you know what? Congressman Green says it exactly right. What they need to do, it's a simple fix. Detain people. Stop releasing people. If they come across the border, if they're asking for asylum, check and see if they have a real asylum claim. But until that asylum claim is actually looked thoroughly through, do not release people. The only reason this is happening is because they know that
You fucking asshole.
words, asylum, and they will get released.
Well, the FBI director has been talking about it. He comes to Congress all the time and tries to, ring the alarm, saying that, look, we are at the highest level of a possible terrorist threat. So at least that's coming from Representative Mike Turner, but he's talking about Director Wray, basically saying, we really do have to pay more attention to the border. Art, thanks so much for joining us on your Monday morning. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Story. Okay, now a famous celebrity chef is lucky after a bike accident. That's today's head of celebrity news. Gordon Ramsay was in the hospital in Connecticut. He's doing okay. He says he got a bit bruised up like a purple potato. The Hell's Kitchen host, thankful his injuries were not more serious, and watch.
Still dead.
I'm not keeping standing here. I'm in pain. It's been a brutal week, and I'm sort of getting through it. But I can't tell you, it was very lucky.
I've never seen anything like that. Wow.
It a long time to get that out.
Yeah.
Arnie Carachel found a gallon help him. So he's, listen, Gordon, you got away with one. I think you realizes it. So get back. Yep, get healthy again very soon. So good to see you back on the job.
Okay, you're also watching a dangerous record-breaking heat wave building up across the Midwest, pushing into the Northeast here and threatening the health of millions of Americans. A week of extreme conditions ahead. We're going to check our local forecast on Fox Weather next. Plus this, Chuck Schumer getting roasted. Does he actually know what he's doing in front of the grill? Kind of looks like he is. Right? Email on why Chuck's backyard cheeseburger gets a failing grade. Oh, we can't wait, Jimmy.
Veterans need money for major home repairs? Why not think outside the bank? Get up to $70,000 from the New Day 100 VA Cash Out Loan. 1-855-419-8334.
Every day we experience joy with our dogs. And the more we know about our dogs, the more core memories we can create together. Get a DNA test from Embark and know your dog inside and out. Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2. Now playing only in theaters. Rated PG.
What the biggest companies deliver is an exceptional customer experience. What makes it possible is unmatched connectivity and 5G solutions from T-Mobile for Business. T-Mobile connects 100,000 Delta Airlines employees, powers Tractor Supply stores nationwide with reliable 5G business internet and partner. PGA of America offers game-changing innovation. This is how business goes further with T-Mobile for Business.
Cell provider that was breached has the social from the credit check.
Think of all the places that could expose your info. LifeLock monitors millions of data points for identity theft. If there's a problem, we fix it. Guaranteed.
We decided to put in an in-ground pool,
I literally went on Angie and typed in pool.
getting to talk to different contractors, see different bids,
We wanted something beautiful. We wanted something that our children would feel happy swimming in.
and we love it.
Get started today at Angie.com.
One of my favorite supplements is Puno Turmeric. Turmeric helps with healthy joints and inflammation support.
And Qdoll has the #1 doctor recommended form of turmeric. Qdoll, the brand I trust.
Looks like allergy season is back. Time to start saving on your prescriptions. Another good reason to check GoodRx.
Brenda used to worry about stained teeth. Now,
It's swishy time.
she uses TheraBreath Whitening Mouthwash to help remove and prevent stains.
It's non-burning and non-irritating, just like us.
Try TheraBreath Mouthwash.
It's a better mouthwash. People diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. That's why we've offered a free book called Mesothelioma for over 10 years. Mesothelioma is really all we do.
Call it under 500-5202 or go to mesobook.com.
Childhood cancer it's a long road. It's hard, but St. Jude has gotten us through it. St. Jude is hope that you have a chance at life. And it goes such a long way for every child diagnosed with cancer because the research is being shared all over the world. It's awesome.
Mikey's World Stage Performance.
Joe spent the day humiliating himself and us.
Show and All-Star Lineup reacts. Tonight on Hannity.
This is the
Another sunny day by the water. Friends, fun, and maybe a few drinks. Tonight, our roads free of impaired drivers, and that means our lakes and waterways too. Impaired boating is impaired driving. Thank you to all the responsible boaters for doing their part, and to those that keep an eye out just in case. Here's to more sunny days. Enjoy the summer on safe roads and waterways. Arrive alive. Drive sober.
Each generation, somebody arises to annihilate us.
Nearly 50% of Jews in America have changed their behavior for being targeted.
The student came down directly in my face and spotted me. Your grandparents should have burned and died, and I'm not going to stop it till you get it. What's going on in campuses now reminds me of World War II. Just imagine what would have happened if Hitler had TikTok.
Anti-Semitism in America, narrated by Benjamin Hall, only on Fox Station.
Listen to this. 9 people were shot when a gunman unleashed a barrage of bullets at a splash pad park in Michigan over the weekend. Among the victims, a couple who shielded their 2 young kids during the shooting. It's tragic. They were shot a combined 7 times. Mike Tobin is live in Chicago with the latest on this story. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Aisha. And unfortunately, this Father's Day weekend will be remembered by some for the bloodshed. A 42-year-old man opened fire at a water park north of Detroit. There's now a GoFundMe page for Michaela and Eric Coughlin, who shielded their 7-month and 2-year-old daughters. Between the 2 of them, that couple was shot 7 times. No one knows why Michael William Nash opened fire at the water park. He has a criminal history, no connection with the water park. There are indications he struggled with mental health. He reloaded during the random attack and ultimately fired 28 rounds from a 9mm handgun, which he dropped at the scene. 9 people total were shot. Police tracked Nash down in a trailer where he lived with his mother. There were other weapons in the trailer, including a rifle, leading police to speculate that Nash had ambitions for more bloodshed. He had a handgun in the trailer, which he turned on himself.
After a period of time, we breached the home and deployed drones to begin an examination of the home to make a determination if it was still a hostile actor. and we located the individual deceased in the home.
In Round Rock, Texas, north of Austin, two groups at a Juneteenth celebration got into a dispute, and the guns came out. Several were injured, and 2 people were killed.
Should have stayed on the roof.
Were not part of the dispute. Shooters to this point have gotten away.
Our goal is to put those folks behind bars, and our goal is to get them put away for life. And we're going to work tirelessly to do that. No stones unturned.
Police have released a description of one man they're looking for, a black male, 19 to 20 years old. He had short dreadlocks and was last seen wearing a white hoodie. Aisha?
Okay, Mike Tobin, thank you very much.
President Biden appearing to freeze on stage at a big fundraiser over the weekend with the celebrities and the former president and all that money out there. This is kind of how it went down.
Whatever you say.
So President Obama eventually suggesting it was time to go, despite the standing ovation, tugging on that sleeve and gently guiding him off stage. Jimmy Fair is the host of Fox Across America and Fox Radio, Fox News Saturday Night. Hello to you.
Good to see you, my man.
I do want to point out how many people in that audience, for an off-the-record panel, had a camera.
Yeah.
Where they're taking pictures of those video, which
And I'd also like to point out that early in my comedy career, I was certainly yanked off the stage on more than one occasion. So I might be the perfect guest for this, to be clear. Here's everything you need to know about the video. Obama is a master of optics. He is not extending that hand, knowing what the consequences of doing so would be, unless he decided the optic of leaving Biden in the position he saw him in was worse. So I do believe the tell here is not Biden, it is Obama, and the choice to get him out of there. Because they were applauding walking off, Biden stopped. Okay, but here's everything. Every time Biden goes out and does one of these big donor events, he's doing it with him. Because he does need people filling time. So whether your takeaway is it was a tug or not a tug, whatever the refs rule on this one, the reality is they're not sending him out there under his own volition, okay, for a full hour with donors.
meaning Kimmel's interviewing Obama.
They did one of these with Bear, they did one of these with Bill Clinton. When was the last time you saw Trump on a panel? They're filling an hour.
And I was bringing this up in the panel earlier. He's the president of the United States. If he wants to stay there and stand there for a half hour, an hour, let him do it. Who's going to walk you?
Well, that's the takeaway. He's either not in charge, or yes, he's in some state of cognitive decline. But I was just in D.C. as you were, and Biden's telling everybody he's going to beat Thomas Jefferson. So, we'll see.
Chuck Schumer.
4th of July is coming, and people are getting their grills out, including apparently a majority of your Chuck Schumer. Take a look at this. He tweeted himself at the grill, trying to cook some burgers here, but then got a lot of, was roasted. And roasted pretty hard for that cheese sitting on top of a raw piece of meat. Probably not the way to do it. You catch it? He tried to explain this away by saying, oh, look, we live in an apartment building. We've never really done this. This is the first time doing this. Really how?
Well, listen, if anybody's trying to lose some weight before the 4th of July, skip the Ozempic and eat at Schumer's. All the roast cheeseburgers are going to get you.
Where is it? It's back here, right? The slaves. For the rebels.
But the point is, every time a Democrat tries to go out and act relatable, they
back here.
Just how unconnected to the rest of us they are.
Yeah, it's back there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think I'll have a beer. And then didn't know how to open it and was freaked out that her husband was even in the kitchen they had shared for 30 years. And that was the problem.
I got a few more for you. Captain Oz. The VP using a gas stove on Thanksgiving.
I remember that.
We have that. Kathy Hochul wearing white to grill. It's not that bad.
It's not so egregious.
And Pelosi's freezer full of ice cream.
Oops, really bad.
Listen, you're a man of the stage. That's what you would say. And so Jerry Seinfeld's on stage. He's got a heckler, and this heckler did not stop. And Seinfeld gave it to him. This is a little bit about how that
went. Uh-oh.
But this this is the whole problem in a microcosm, okay? These people who are doing this stuff aren't in it for the cause, they're in it for the clout. Because there's no way upending a Seinfeld show is going to redirect anybody's take on the Middle East, as he said. And the bottom line is, if you're trying to impact change, you don't come after comedians. We entered a profession where we get paid in chicken fingers the first 5 years. If things go well, you get bumped up to burgers, okay? And granted, he's doing fine, but they're never crafting foreign policy strategies at a Seinfeld show.
Get the fire ready, or get the grill ready.
Seinfeld said we're all on your side now because you ended your point so well.
Thank you, but that is the point. Nobody's on their side. It's always been a tyranny of the minority. They're jerks. Good on Jerry for standing his ground.
I see you got this big generator in the room.
How about it?
All right, supersonic air travel. It could soon be a reality, Bill. A new factory specifically for those rapid planes is opening up today. So how fast do they go? And when might they be ready for everyday air travel? Grady Trimble is at the site fueling the future of supersonic flight. Hi, Grady.
What the fuck was that?
What's up?
Who are you?
I'm your inner child. Get in. Listen, horsepower keeps you going, but torque gets you going. Oh, now we're torquing.
The Dodge Hornet RT, the total torque Dodge crossover.
All these games on DirecTV and no satellite on the moon. Think about this. Blue Jays, Cardinals, Orioles. What's missing?
The Indian country?
No, Walnut Brain. Pigeons. I'd rather name a team after song.
Hi, Grandma. I played baseball today. Oh, that's great.
What position did you play?
First base. That's where Grandpa used to play. When our hearing wouldn't allow us to use a regular phone, it made us feel isolated.
It became difficult to communicate with our friends and family.
Clear Captions was an easy solution for us.
Clear Captions provides captions on a phone like captioning on your TV, so you can see what the caller is saying live as they say it.
Making it easy to understand and respond immediately.
There is no insurance or Medicare required. Clear Captions service is provided at no cost to you through a federally funded program. We deliver, install, and train you on how to use your phone, all at no cost to you.
Give your loved ones the independence and connection they deserve.
Call now to see if you qualify to get a Clear Captions phone at no cost to you. Call 1-800-690-1802. That's 1-800-690-1802.
Is that necessary?
No. It is missing your daughter's competition to do payroll. The Paycom employees do their own payroll, so you don't have to miss your daughter's big day. I'm Deshaun. Get Paycom and make the unnecessary unnecessary.
I hear it all the time. People tell me they'd love to buy gold, but because it's gold, they think it must be complicated. It isn't.
Oh, shit.
With Rosalind, the entire process from start to finish is built on one concept. One, keep it simple. Rosalind Capital, a trusted leader in helping people acquire precious metals. Gold bullion, Lady Liberty gold and silver proofs, and our premium coins can help you preserve your wealth. Call Rosalind Capital at 800-630-8900 to receive your free Rosalind Guide to Gold, Gold and Precious Metals IRA, and silver brochures. With Rosalind, there are no hassles, no gimmicks, and our shipping is fast and reliable. Remember, keep it simple. Make gold your new standard. Call Rosalind Capital today at 800-630-8900. 800-630-8900. That's 800-630-8900.
We all know Mark Wahlberg as an American movie star, but what makes him unique is what he does when he's not on the silver screen. Mark is passionate about his family, his faith, and his country. He joined me on a tour of our 9/11 mobile exhibit. With his powerful voice, he's helping us to never forget those who have sacrificed so much.
You guys are doing amazing work.
Our foundation, you know what we have. We take care of our first responders and Gold Star widows, their loved ones die in the line of duty and leave young children behind, catastrophically injured service members. When we build these mortgage-free smart homes, you're a man of faith. Absolutely. St. Francis of Assisi said, brothers and sisters, while we have fun, let us do good. Absolutely. We all have to do our part. There is definitely a role for every one of us to contribute in some sort of way.
See, now we don't hold any grudge with any New York-Boston sports rivalries because of all that you guys do.
I had the good fortune of being able to visit Afghanistan and to see the sacrifice that our brave men and women actually make to provide our freedoms. I don't take that lightly. As I got involved, I was inundated with calls about how people could help and contribute. It represents all the great heroes that died in 9/11. We've always been to hold it to the highest standards of any foundation in America. Couldn't find a more worthy cause. The fact that this is something that has literally touched and affected every single person, they just have to be a part of it. And their reputation is beyond impeccable. Everybody knows where the money's going. Every single dollar. God bless you. We need your help to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children. Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
The border crisis just hit the interior of the country hard. A 37-year-old mom of 5 was raped and killed, and the suspect, an illegal border crosser, accused of killing before. And viral video of President Biden at a fancy fundraiser is going viral for all the wrong reasons, raising some big controversy. Plus, officials are warning Americans this week across the country. A heat wave could be deadly. Congresswoman Kat Cammack, Brian Kilmeade, Lieutenant Colonel Danny Davis, a packed hour to Barker Focus.
Thank you, Harris. See you in a moment here. Tomorrow marks 1 year since the tragic dive of the Titan submersible. It was on its way to visit the wreckage of the Titanic. Now the company that owns the salvage rights to the doomed ocean liner plans to visit the sunken ship next month using remote-operated vehicles. A real estate billionaire out of Ohio also says he plans to visit that shipwreck.
Oh, thank God we got the priest.
5 people killed when the Titan imploded. An investigation is still.
Shit.
Supersonic flight could soon be a reality. Yes, Boom Supersonic is opening its first factory for what is said to be the world's fastest airliner. Grady Trimble live in Greensboro, North Carolina, with the very exciting details. So when can we jump on?
Going to be a few more years yet, Aisha, but the planes that eventually will come out of this factory will fly faster than the speed of sound, of course, and about twice as fast as commercial airliners do today. So that means getting from New York City to London in around 3 hours, 45 minutes, or from Australia back to the West Coast in about half the time it takes right now. So Boom Supersonic is still testing a smaller prototype plane, but this is a look at its commercial supersonic planes, or a rendering of them. Boom CEO says newer materials, engines, and technology will allow the company to bring the cost of flight way down compared to the last supersonic commercial airliner, the Concorde, to around the price of a business class ticket on a regular commercial flight now. And Boom says this factory will be a boon to the local economy, bringing with it around 2,400 jobs and creating more than 32 million.
If we let the next generation advanced manufacturing jobs leave, and then it's ferocious difficult to get them back. I deeply believe it's going to be super strong. And we can build those here in the U.S. We're going to do it right here in America to ensure continued American leadership.
To be making the planes here in about 3 years' time. I'm sure you could be flying on one of these supersonic jets in 2029.
Yeah, I'm excited now.
Road trip.
Great.
Great. Before we go, I want to share this with you. What a day it was Sunday in North Carolina. Bryson DeChambeau winning the U.S. Open went crazy, by the way. A really cool celebration. Won by a single stroke after Rory McIlroy did this. Both three of his last 4 holes. I'm going to have to wait. And DeChambeau now a 2-time So you can compete. You can probably do really well. I should thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, and good to be with you guys too. The Fucking Breakfast is
We begin with the sponsors alert. President Biden's border crisis has just left a family of 5 children without their mother. Police picked up an illegal border crosser with the rape and murder of 37-year-old Rachel Morin as their investigation continues. I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus. Rachel Morin was killed along a popular hiking trail in Harford County, Maryland. It happened last summer, and it has taken all of this time to get us to where we are now. That's 1,800 miles away from the closest point of our southern border. The suspect is from El Salvador. He has known gang ties. He illegally crossed the border in February of 2023. He allegedly killed a young woman in his home country. And a month later, he brutally attacked a 9-year-old girl and her mother in a home invasion. Police arrested him for Rachel Morin's murder over the weekend in Tulsa, Oklahoma, more than 10 months after her body was found. The Harford County, Maryland sheriff said this.
He killed a woman.
Close one. Holy fuck.
That's why he fled there to come here to the border. He tried to come in legally, and he was turned away, and that didn't deter him because we have such a porous border, and he came right through. And this is the result.
Congresswoman Kat Hammock is in focus. First, though, let's go to David Spott with more on this story. David.
Well, her police never gave up on finding Rachel Morin's killer. Her family lived in fear this person may attack again. Police say the suspect, as I mentioned, killed that woman in his home country of El Salvador before crossing our border illegally early last year. She was just 37 years old, a mother of 5, and last August she was found dead along a popular running trail in Bel Air, Maryland, about 30 miles northeast of Baltimore, on the way to the Delaware border. Now, police say that she was raped and killed. Her body left for others to find it. Again, this was last August, but authorities on Friday in Tulsa, Oklahoma, arrested this man, Victor Antonio Martinez Hernandez, just 23 years old, charged with her rape and murder. Fox News is told that before he illegally crossed the border, he killed that woman in his own country before escaping there. Police obtained a DNA match from a home invasion in Los Angeles, California. Look at this ring video. This is in March 2023, where several people, Harris, including a young child, were assaulted. The suspect disappeared. Police are now saying he's that suspect, and here is the victim's mother.
The day seemed like really bleak and hopeless. The lead detective said to me, he said, patience will win in the end. And that's what they've been doing. They've been diligently working very hard.
The suspect expected to face extradition from Oklahoma to Maryland to face charges. Could take several weeks, If convicted, he'll spend the rest of his life in jail. And notable, the White House has yet to comment on this. It's quickly becoming very political based on what happened at the border. We've not heard anything yet. However, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre are going to be briefing today at 2 o'clock. I suspect this will come up.
Yeah, I actually really wish you were in that room with the details that you have to put at her binder for her to look through and try and find a way to get out of answering any questions, because they do owe us some answers now. He just took action at the border. I want to know how anything that this president is doing is making any difference. David Spunt, thank you. Well, as David just kind of alluded to, this is not the only case like this. At least 6 other illegal immigrants have been charged in violent crimes since February. And also that month, I should mention, was the month that Jose Ibarra was charged with the murder of 22-year-old nursing student Laken Riley in Georgia. Also in the month of February, another illegal border crosser was charged with killing a 2-year-old little boy in Maryland. In May, another arrested for the kidnapping and rape of a 14-year-old child. Republican Congresswoman Kat Hammock of Florida. And Congresswoman, I know you have law enforcement support in your own home. Your husband is a SWAT EMT. You have shared on this program many times how you're focused not just on crime in general, but this particular kind of crime that maybe could be prevented if we weren't letting so many people in and not able to vet them.
Absolutely, Harris. I mean, your heart just breaks for
Rachel's family. You heard her mom just now talking about this case. And I would venture to say that not only was this entirely preventable, it never should have happened in the first place, but this criminal, he probably is not only just a serial predator, but possibly a serial killer. He's been linked to crimes all around the country, and we have seen where he has left a trail of destruction in his wake, but he's not the only one. And I had some communication with the Hartford Sheriff's Office today in talking about this case, and the sheriff and his team have been doing a remarkable job. But we agree on a couple of things. One, this President Biden, he's not going to uphold the law no matter what Congress passes, no matter what the Supreme Court says. So it's going to take a change in administration before they get serious. And in speaking with the sheriff's team, this can't be political. Every town in America is a border town because of the failures of Joe Biden. We have Republicans and Democrats who need to step up to the plate to fix it. But even that being said, it's going to require a change in administration. Well, we have too many results.
You make an excellent point. I mean, the president has flouted the U.S. Supreme Court decision on student loans, and he laughs about that. I mean, just check out his social media feed. I don't know how much of it is he's actually doing himself. The San Diego Union Tribune reports that border crossings and those releases of illegal immigrants remain steady despite the president's executive action. Well, during an 8-day period that began on June 5th, when Biden signed that action, more than 2,700 people were released into the United States. Look at this. And that's more than half the number of people released in any given week in April. And look, I've read through the report as far as the details that we can get. I just want to make this point. When they say non-document docket, those people, those migrants, they talk about them as migrants. They're made up of two groups of people, Congresswoman. Those who cross the border illegally, or as you and I both call them, criminals, and those who've been released into the U.S. pending their immigration cases, future court dates, so on and so forth. Also including illegal immigrants who've been ordered to leave and have not. That number, the total number for fiscal year 2024, and it's not over yet, 7,400,000.
Oh man, Harris, I mean, this just makes my blood boil. Because when you think about what this administration has done in the span of 4 years to undo not just the Trump executive orders and all our border security initiatives to keep this country safe and really uphold legal immigration, they are destroying communities all around this country as a result. I spoke with several of our Border Patrol agents here this morning, and I've been checking in with them in the wake of this Biden executive order that was really just designed to hit top cover for political reasons. You know what they told me? They said it's gotten worse. Biden's executive order made the situation at the border worse. Why? Because now everyone's rushing to the border, even more so than before, because they feel that they're going to be capped out. So it's putting more of a burden on those states like New Mexico, Arizona, and California. Texas, thanks to the good work of the Democrat there and Governor Abbott, they've effectively been able to shut it down. But for those other states that have liberal leadership and don't care about the border situation the way Texas does, they've created a real crisis there. Not to mention that under Alejandro Mayorkas' leadership, we now have no buses. The planes that you would need to deport and get people back to their home countries no longer are there. The manpower resources isn't there. And they have taken more beds out of ICE's control.
You're so pathetic, Mitch.
You have a situation, we have no way to actually enforce what is in this EO. They've made it worse. It all goes back to them trying to get top cover for electoral purposes. But as a result, Americans are dying in communities of less safe.
Well, look, those communities who are feeling the pressure are the very communities of color that this president says he needs and can't win without. And they're the very people now who are giving the former President Donald Trump not just a look, but being welcomed into their community when he shows up. The Biden administration is reportedly working on a parole in place. I can't wait to get your thoughts on this. It's policy that will provide legal status for hundreds of thousands of people who are living in the United States without documentation. Now, remember the number that I just said, of them. Many of them, they expect that number to go to 8 million by the end of the year. So
How do we keep up with people that we don't know that they're here? Or where they are?
Well, the $1 billion question, Harris. And you talk to anyone who is in DHS, anyone who has the courage to come forward, they will tell you point blank.
Oh yeah, we're saving this. Big time.
They know are here in the country.
See you guys next time, alright? Peace.
But they know they have derogatory from their home country that would make them be here. We're talking sex predators, we're talking gang members,